This is Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. We are the #1 business show on the planet with over 1 million downloads a month. Taking the BS out of business for over 6 years and over 400 episodes. You ready to start snapping necks and cashing checks? Well, it starts right about now.
Right about now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Right About Now. It's our weekly marketing and business news here on April 12th, 2024. Joined as always by my good friend, Chris Hansen. What's up, brother?
What's up, my bro? How are you?
I'm good, man. Hey, officially in the new studio space. A little teaser. We don't have the full setup, but we're actually in the room. So I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like I got space. You don't know this, show business, everything feels maybe bigger or whatever, but our studio was like 12 by 12, maybe at best.
Yeah.
And was plenty of space to, do what we needed to, but we're going big, baby. Got the new desk coming in. I think we're going to pick it up this afternoon. Actually, I just got a text message. We're go big or go home, they say, right?
Lean in, baby. I need to get up there and we got to do a live recording in the new studio.
Exactly. We will. You need to plan your next trip for sure. I hope
Ready
everyone.
for some G Vegas.
Yeah, G Vegas is feeling good. It's supposed to be 80s all next week too. So it's good. I hope everyone out there is wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are. We appreciate you for making us #1. Our bi-weekly show will be going to quasi-daily. Probably start every other day. Probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday here the next couple weeks. We're working out the kinks. No definitive guarantees, but we're working our way towards what we think will be the best daily business show on the planet. We're already pretty close, my friend, in our own minds. But we're gonna leave. We're gonna remove all doubt with the new format. So I'm pretty pumped about that. We're taking you can't take the BS out of business unless it's every day.
Straight up.
There's so much BS we got to take out of there. So I hope everyone had a good eclipse week. And, I'll make a little note. National championship, UConn won. And someone won the bracket at work. You don't want to be the boss and win the bracket. I didn't really bask in it too much. It's like you feel bad. Like you're not supposed to do things like the boss shouldn't get presents. He shouldn't
That was my first thought when you told me you won. I was like damn, bro. Is that good for office politics?
Well, there was no money involved. We had no money exchanging hands. If there was, I would have let the second place take it. It was just purely bragging rights. So I accepted the award. And felt a little bad about it. I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Not do a bracket? Then I'm not participating. You can't win. You don't participate. Then everybody's like, well, why didn't Ryan do it? Well, okay, I did it. And I won, you motherfuckers. Just kidding. I love everybody. I didn't really want to win, but sometimes you get lucky. I don't think I've ever won. I think I've won a bracket like once in my life. I'm 45 years old. I think I've won once ever. And so, of course, I win our own work bracket, but I'll take it. We'll take the wins wherever we can get them these days.
Take the W, bro.
Take the W. I hope everyone enjoyed the eclipse. I'm going to say something. I'll probably get some hate DMs for it, but I don't give two shits about the eclipse. Everybody, I know it happens. So it's a rare occurrence and it's astronomy. And it's not that I don't care about science, but I'm like, changing plans and stuff. Okay, my kids had the glasses. I looked up there for 5 seconds, and I'm like, that's cool. All right, now what was I doing? Could you guys see the eclipse there down in Miami?
Yeah, I nearly went blind. There was a mob outside the gym, literally like 20 people as I was leaving. And I took a glance. It definitely did fry my eyeballs before a woman handed me a pair of the glasses. I took a look. It was cool,
Yeah.
I can appreciate it for what it is.
I appreciate it. But, the world went on. And but I will say we have a couple articles related to it. One, I'm going to start with a funny one. This comes to us from our friends at TMZ. That should get your head in the right space. TMZ.com. Mexican station airs testicles on live TV. That's not the moon blocking the light. One Mexican TV station solar eclipse coverage Monday was totally nuts. I like this writer. As in the pair of testicles that somehow ended up on the screen, and they might be famous. Check it out. News anchor for Mexico's RCG Media were commenting just as the eclipse entered totality. But things really got interesting when they cut to a different angle of a bright light, presumably the sun. Seconds later, the testes dipped into frame, blocking the light and giving audiences a brief but very up-close look at someone's family jewels. You could see the visible shock of the faces of the two anchors on set. As for how the testicles ended up in the broadcast, RCG Media reportedly asked viewers to send in personal eclipse footage, which in hindsight was a very risky idea. There's even a theory floating around social media that the balls in question were attached to Tommy Lee. The Motley Crue drummer reportedly posted and deleted a nearly similar eclipse recreation with his testicles, which might have somehow leaked into the RCG control room. Update from yesterday. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ these balls do not belong to Tommy Lee.
Good to know.
Good to know. So I feel much
Someone
better.
else's balls.
Someone else's.
That's funny as hell.
Live TV, folks. Our next article is a little bit more down the business line in marketing. Not that, balls aren't about the business. Hey, we say we're taking the BS out of business. We ain't going to take the balls out of business, though, Chris, are we?
No, definitely not taking the BS out of balls.
This comes to us from eMarketer.com. How Netflix, Sheen, and Skims are bringing malls back from the dead. Mall foot traffic is returning to pre-COVID-19 levels. In 2013, visits to indoor shopping malls were down 5.8% from 2019 levels compared to a decline of 15% in 21 per Placer.AI. The comeback of the mall in 2024 report. Visits to open-air shopping centers and outlet malls are also recovering. Continued mall success requires the right mix of brand and attractions to keep today's consumers engaged. Breaking with tradition, while retail remains a mall staple, experiences and restaurants are major drivers of mall traffic. That's good news for Netflix, which plans to open 2 brick-and-mortar locations in 25. The first with the King of Prussia Mall in Pennsylvania will feature a 250-seat theater, amusement rooms, dining space, and a retail marketplace. Within retail, brands are rethinking their traditional mall model, experimenting with short-term leases and pop-up events to pique consumers' curiosity and a sense of urgency. More people going back to the mall. You got those mall rats returning.
Those Friday night shenanigans, hanging out at Ruby Tuesdays.
Yes. Hang out at Spencer's. Getting the weird gifts.
Spencer's and Hot Topic.
Hot Topic. Spencer's. I want to shake the magic 8-ball and see what happens.
Yeah.
I think that's
black light.
Yeah, I got to get some black lights at Spencer's and, a Scooby-Doo t-shirt. The mystery machine. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys were in there buying that shit. We know. You know who you are when you're listening. You're shaking your head like, oh, that wasn't me. Well, we know. We know. But, interesting with Netflix, huh? Netflix essentially setting up an experiential movie theater.
Talk about the pendulum swinging full circle back.
Streaming, It's like the DVDs didn't really work. The streaming blew up. We had my buddy Mark Randolph, the founder of Netflix, on who talked about all that. You should go back and listen to that story. Shameless plug. He's a badass in business, and it was a great episode. So if you want to learn all about that story. But nonetheless, we got all the streaming. We're going to set up experiential. I love it, though. I'll tell you this is all coming back. The more experiential you can make your stores and these experiences is a huge brand play. I guarantee you, if they do it right, it will work in increasing brand resonance and overall awareness. And look, you sometimes you want to get out of the house a little bit. And, I love the amusement rooms, dining space, retail space. Let's get some beverages going, like a little bar. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like the movie theater
Dave
experience.
Buster's
yeah, Dave and Buster's.
Movie theater.
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Winner.
I want to play a little, skee ball while I'm watching the movie.
Yeah. Shoot a few hoops.
It might be noisy, but hey, you can put some headphones on if you need it or whatever, if you want an individual listening. But in all seriousness, I do think the movie theater needs rethinking, like to modern times. And there's some places around here, even in South Carolina, smaller markets, but that you have dining or like waiter services, a couple of them I've heard of.
What I've done.
But they're just scratching the surface. You got to make it. And you can say, well, then it's just like home. No, it's not like home. You can make it, I want like a fruity drink or something. I don't have the shit to make that at home. So you get a full bar experience while you're watching a movie. I mean, the movie experience could be improved that if Netflix wants to be on the forefront to increase their traffic there and then online, that makes sense to me. It's a good brand play. They want to be about entertainment. Netflix knows what their core business is. It's streaming subscriptions. It's that $9.99 a month, the $10.99. What is that? It's $19.99 a month now. I think my bill's gone up twice, maybe more than that. They know what their core business is, but look, they want their brand to be synonymous with extraordinary entertainment experiences, online, easy streaming, offline, cool access to fun places where I can watch content, entertainment. This is a big brand play. That's what they're going for. And so, what's the takeaway? Look, what do we love to give on this show, Chris? What do we want to give people? Starts with
value.
a V. Value, baby. That's the value. You want your brand to be synonymous with something overarching. Yes, you want your core business. You have your channels for monetization, but you want to be associated with a core block that people know you to be for, so that you can create these brand extensions that go beyond, so that it gives you permission. Look, Netflix has earned permission to do this. It's not, Chris, you and I sit here and we have this article and we read about it, we learn about it. We don't go, what's Netflix doing? Oh, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm thinking fucking brilliant is what I was thinking.
Exactly. Because they've earned permission as a brand delivering excellent content experiences online and streaming. And so going and improving what is really a stale experience, let's be honest, going to the movies. That popcorn with extra butter is good and all, but we got to be upgrading, baby. And so that's what this is about. So kudos to them. Don't know if I want to see the mall get more popular. So I want my kids wanting to go there and hang out with, creepy Tom and, over dramatic Sarah. Yeah. We all know who they are. Tom and Sarah. He's creepy. She's over dramatic, and she needs to stay away from my kids. But
definitely some weirdos.
Other than that, I'm cool with the mall and the movie theater and all that shit coming back. And let's get back in IRL, baby, in real life. Yeah. This isn't real life, but sort of is. We haven't really brought to fruition the AVP segment, the Apple Vision Pro, and partly because of things like this. This comes to us from marketwatch.com. They're always watching the market, baby. Some Apple Vision Pro users are finding that the virtual reality headset isn't so easy on the eyes after all. The AVP is generating oohs and ahs and black eyes and other maladies. Let's just call it what it is. It's causing issues. Among all these early adopters of the heralded mixed reality headset, there's varying reports of issues. While it may have been well reviewed, the high-tech wearable comes with an important caveat. Wearing it for an extended period of time, more than an hour or so, risks neck pain, headaches, eye strain, and back aches, according to users of the device and Apple literature. It may also cause, urinary issues, cancer, and, hemoglobin issues.
Right. Diarrhea.
Yeah. Chest pains. Sounds like a prescription for pain is what it is. Nonetheless, it sucks because I don't want this to be happening. But I could have told you this is probably going to happen. Those big old goggles on your head. I have played around enough with the other versions of this, the MetaQuest and all that stuff, that it's kind of disorienting, and I don't know. You can only deal with it for so long. Even my kids that played with it like crazy when we first got it don't really play with it anymore, and I think it's partly because of this. They don't describe it this way, but I think it has a lot to do with it. They're back to Fortnite.
Yeah. Back to good old Fortnite.
Back to good old Fortnite. So I thought this was interesting because, again, it's an issue. It's an issue with adoption. Obviously, if they only have so many units to sell. But I also caution brands with going too overboard in development around this until they could get this figured out with the hardware and the software, because it's a problem. Because if people can only wear it for 15, 30 minutes, it's not a real world solution for like an all day working from home business environment or other applications. So have you got your hands on any, Chris?
No, I haven't.
You're in Miami though. Do you see a lot of people with them?
No, that's what I'm just realizing now is I feel like a month or two ago when they released, you were kind of seeing them everywhere. And now you mention it, I haven't seen any at all, even just on social media. There was a lot of stuff going viral and now I don't see anything. Yeah.
I think you're going to still see some stagnation there until they get all this stuff worked out. And if you want to learn from me directly, join my newsletter, ryanalford.com/newsletter. Sign up. I give daily advice on marketing, personal branding, podcasting, life. Give that a shout. Join that. It's free. It's daily. Just like this show, give away our best advice. Also on the business front, we refrain from talking about the economy too much. We could have a whole show about the economy and numbers, but I think this is important as it relates to business and the impacts it can have. This comes to us from CNN.com. Stubbornly high U.S. inflation grew stronger than expected in March. Surging gas prices, sky-high mortgages and rent sent inflation rising more than expected in March. It's up 3.5% for the last 12 months ending in March. That's year over year. According to the latest Consumer Price Index data released by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, it's considerably up from last month and marks the highest annual gain in the past 6 months. I think it means interest rates will not be getting cut, which means those mortgages are going to remain extremely high. So you're probably going to continue to see people scared to sell because they know they'd have to rebuy in this market. I think the biggest impact will be on the housing market, but it all kind of trickles down. And shit just costs too much, Chris. Prices just haven't been dipping.
Not good.
I'll just say, I'm blessed that I'm not seeing like every 5-10 cents the way I'm sure other people are as far as their purchasing. But I do notice that we have 4 kids. We buy groceries. Those grocery bills are a lot higher than they were 3 or 4 years ago. And my wife does most of the grocery shopping, but we split it up enough that I see it too. I'm like, I look at my shopping cart and then it rings up and I'm like, $274. I'm like half full. The shopping cart's like 3/4 full, not even half full. Sometimes I'm like, what did I buy? Did my kids throw like some, gold steaks in here or something? like 17 bags of candy. I don't know. Do you feel it in your day to day? Do you see it?
Yeah, man. And everyone I talk to, especially, my friends that have families and whatnot. But even if I go get lunch, say I go to get like a steak bowl, do something healthy, it's like $30. It's insane. I constantly wonder, how is your average family getting by right now?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's funny you say that. If you get something healthy, you add that stuff on, you're getting a salad. I mean, and you're in Miami, but even here in Greenville, it's like, I see them adding up. I'm like, okay. All right. I'm grabbing like a 10 out of my wallet, and I'm like old Clark Griswold, like when the bill was too high, I'm like shoving the 10 back in to go for the 100. Like 10's not enough. Wait, it's got a salad and some breadcrumbs or something. I don't even know what. Oh, you got chicken and avocado on this bitch. Okay, $17.47. What? I mean, for a salad? It's like,
it's been going viral, all these videos of younger people saying like, I'm making more money than I've ever made, but I'm more restricted on my budget than ever.
Yeah.
Because everything is just so expensive. Gas, food, housing.
I'll tell you this. We were joking. There's a house. I sold a house exactly 10 years ago. We're in Greenville, South Carolina. Lovely place. Don't move here though. We got too many people moving here. I sold it for $495,000, right at $500 grand in December of 13. So we'll call it 2014. And this house just went on the market. I happen to still get the updates because I have like a Zillow saved. It's had no structural upgrades. I looked at the pictures. They've done a few little cosmetic things in the bathrooms, but no structural upgrades. It's a big house. It's like 4,000 square feet, maybe 3,800. And Chris, no structural upgrades. It was $500,000 10 years ago. What do you think that house is selling for? Let's play a little game. What do you think that house is selling for? 10 years.
950.
Keep going, buddy.
1.2.
Keep going.
1.8.
No, it's 1.297.
Shit.
It has, what's the math? Someone do the math for me. Doubling would have been
like
$1 million.
2.5%.
Like 250, 225%, something like that. No structural changes whatsoever. Welcome to Greenville, South Carolina, folks. Welcome to the real estate market. To say I wish I just sat on that house is one thing. This market's been going crazy, but they talk about, I see it, 30% up. It's 34% up. Shit. It's 225% up in my math book. 10 years. So let me tell you what's not up 225%. Salaries.
Straight up, yeah.
No one's making 225% more. I mean, I'm not saying if you haven't climbed the ladder or, you got 500 side gigs, whatever it is, but average salaries in this market haven't gone up 225%. So all you do is pricing out the market. You've got a lot of people moving in where like New Yorkers, other places where real estate's higher. So you're changing the market dynamics. And I'm just talking about the micro lens of this market, but that's the impact. You're changing economies. You're changing the landscape. You're changing politics. You're changing a lot of things because of these price increases. So be careful what you wish for. Now, I know I'm sitting here saying that, as a good old fashioned capitalist, that I don't believe that, prices shouldn't increase as, quality increases or things like that happen. But it's a slippery slope. And so for this to keep continuing, I never thought we were going to go into a recession, and I still firmly believe that we can stay out of it. But the prices or the pay or the something has to start going. And, and business owners like myself, I can't pay more for things and then pay my people more. It's like I can't increase my rates with clients 200%.
Right.
Thus, I can't increase my employee salary. Like something has to give. But they have higher costs. I have higher costs in everything. Everything I ever did as a business owner costs more.
I read this morning, BlackRock just purchased a huge real estate investment trust for 10 I want to say 10 billion. I don't think it was trillion.
Yeah.
But it was like 80 apartment communities across the country. And that's, again, I think part of the reason you have these massive, massive funds owning clusters of cities, essentially, that they can charge whatever they want,
Yeah.
So, which different where my situation, like I'm in a condo, it's independently owned. It's up to that guy. But I know even right now I'm waiting. He said, I'll get back to you end of the week. I need to see what market rates are for
what
to raise my rent to, essentially.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting like, God damn.
See how much I can charge you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm interested to see what he thinks is a fair increase.
Yeah.
Down here in Miami.
I know.
I have a feeling it's not going to be a very good feeling.
And is it going to be in line with salary and overall wealth increases, or is it going to be in line with, some other dynamic? So that's the thing. Mm-hmm. So they need, and I don't have the solutions, but you have to this is where, you have to be paying attention to what's going on and making sure you're on the side of that needs to come down, period. I don't care where your politics are. It's not a political thing. It's an economic thing. So inflation needs to halt because we need those interest rates to fall, and that will sort of set it in motion. And I get the whole thing, like how it all works. It works both ways. So supply and demand, all that stuff. I get it. But slippery slope we're on there. Speaking of different brackets for different people, finally today, fastcompany.com brings us Jeff Bezos Billionaire Bunker explained. Literally, it's not really a bunker, so to speak, I don't think. And this is down in your area, buddy. Founder of Amazon has recently been on a spending spree in Miami. He's to come check out the Vacay Lounge. Jeff, if you're listening, get down there and check out the
Come on through, Jeff.
Come on through, Jeff. Where he's cultivating a growing real estate portfolio in the ultra-exclusive community of Indian Creek, nicknamed Billionaire Bunker. Last week, Bezos shelled out a reported $90 million on a third piece of property in the area, meaning that he now owns 3 of just the 41 lots. Other residents of the gated community include Tom Brady, Gisele Bundren, and superstar DJ David Guetta. Never know how to spell that. Is that how you say that? Guetta? I know who he is.
Guetta, but yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
am I saying that right, Kai? You know who that is. Is that Guetta? Guetta? All right. I knew you'd know. No, you. Guetta. I know who he is. I know his music, but I don't ever know how to pronounce his name. So now I do. Thanks, Kai. David Guetta. Anyway, he's got some money too. They're all in this bunker together. Billionaire Bunker. You know this area, the Indian Creek area?
Yeah, I'm familiar. It's definitely very
ritzy.
Yeah.
Is it safe though? Like, so you spend that kind of money on that land. Is it in any jeopardy of going underwater?
I guess that depends who you talk to, right?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Probably. Definitely flooding.
Yeah. Anyway, they got enough money they could afford it if it happened, right? They got it insured. Yeah. Whatever the insurance costs. No telling.
I was going to say, what's the insurance on a house like that? Shit.
Yes. But I'm glad Jeff's doing all right. Getting himself more bunkered, more space to stretch his arms out. I wonder if he could park his boat there. If they have to take apart bridges for.
Well, wasn't that what he was trying to do in the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Have bridges adjusted to fit his mega yacht?
Yes. And, all because he decided to sell some books online, man. That guy.
Fuck.
Unlocked it, man. Good for him. He's looking good, though.
Yeah.
He looks good. He's taking care of himself.
Yeah.
All these CEOs have figured out. You can have all this money, but if you don't feel good, you don't take care of yourself. What are you going to spend it on?
Be a great guest on Vibe Science. Let's have Jeff tell us what he's doing.
Exactly.
Some shit we've never even heard of.
and shameless plug, along those lines, Todd Anderson was on today, just released today, the day we're recording here. And so if you go back, if you look at Vibe Science, Chris and I's health and wellness podcast, we're bridging the gap between modern medicine and alternative wellness approaches for a complete holistic look. And we had Todd Anderson on who talked about it. It's like, you can have $1 billion in the bank, but if you have a sore throat that day, all you're thinking about is that sore throat. If you have cancer and you have $1 billion in the bank, you aren't even thinking about the money because all you want to do is get better. Yep. Just the importance of wellness. And same thing with like Bezos. He's figured out, okay, I can have this money, but can I live well longer to enjoy it, have impact? give back to people. And so it is important. So go check that out. vibescience.media for any of that info. Because again, it's all blends together. This is a business show, but we're guiding you. You see what Jeff Bezos is doing. If you wanted that billionaire bunker, you better take care of your health and wellness.
A lot of billionaires out there into this biohacking and health and wellness. Like they're on to something, you can become that before you become the billionaire.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And we'd love for y'all to check that out. Vibescience.media. And of course, go check out Mac Fox, Mac.Fox.Bikes.Promotional. I got that X2. It's down at the lake, Chris. I left it at the lake because that cruiser's become like the beach cruiser, lake cruiser. Doing that thing, riding that thing around. The X2, it's a mountain bike. It's a city cruiser. It's a lake extraordinaire is what it is. Electric, pedaler. You can pedal, you can scoot, you can do whatever. I got both those batteries on there. I got 90 miles. I got a big seat. Chris, you can even come ride that thing with me. We can go 2-seater on that baby.
Like a banana seat, old school.
Yeah. That might make for some good content.
Yeah, great content right there.
Yeah, I might could get a side cart on that thing. I'm going to see if my boys over at Mac Fox can get a side cart on that thing. Now that would be it. Now we'd be talking. Go check them out at Mac Fox Bike on social media. Use Ryan Alford 150. You'll get 150 off the X2. Ryan Alford 100. And it's $100 off the X1. But get that X2, baby. Upgrade. You want that big thing. And let me tell you, it's fun. The kids love it. And my friends are jealous. Go check them out. Tell them that we sent you from right about now. MacFoxBike.com. Love them. That's all we got today, Chris. Any final thoughts?
Sounds like a plan. No, not at all. Everyone have a great weekend.
Yeah.
That's it.
Have a good weekend. Hey, it's Masters weekend. And yes, Tiger Woods is supposed to be playing. So he should be well into round 2. Hopefully he hasn't, dropped out by now with an injury. I don't mean that jokingly. I mean it because it's better for golf if he's playing. And we'll see what happens. Scotty Scheffler's going to win, though. You heard it here. That's all we got for Chris Hansen down at the Vacay Lounge in Miami. Go follow him on Instagram, Chris Broby Hansen. I'm at Ryan Alford on all the social media platforms. You'll see that blue check next to both of our names. We really appreciate you for making us number 1. We'll see you next time. Right about now.
This has been Right About Now with Ryan Alford, a Radcast Network production. Visit RyanIsRight.com for full audio and video versions of the show or to inquire about sponsorship opportunities. Thanks for listening.